Okay, welcome to A Seat at the Table, a podcast by the Alamo Colleges District. As you know, each episode we discuss opportunities and solutions related to the community colleges, talent pipeline, our mission of economic and social mobility for the communities that we serve. I'm Mike Flores, Chancellor of the Alamo Colleges District, and today is going to be a special edition. In fact, it's one of my most favorite editions in which we speak with our graduates. Today, we're going to speak with 6 of our graduates, one from each of the Alamo colleges, and then a grad from one of our bachelor degree programs, in this case in nursing. As the semester comes to an end, it's only the beginning for some of our Alamo College students, and we're pleased to have outstanding grads with us today who will be telling more about the experiences that they've had with us and what to look forward to in the future. Before we jump into our topic today, I wanted to introduce our special studio guest, Logan Martinez, who's our outgoing student trustee. He's outgoing personality-wise, but also ended his term as student trustee, and he is a Palo Alto College graduate. He'll be crossing the stage this Wednesday, and he's going to be helping me ask some questions today. Thank you for being here, Logan.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, well, good. Logan is a graduate, as I noted, from Palo Alto, and he will be receiving an Associate of Arts with a focus in political science, and he has plans to transfer to the Palo Alto College Bachelor of Applied Technology in Operations Management. So it's a bachelor degree program as well. It's new for us here at the Alamo Colleges and provides wonderful opportunities. We look forward to asking and also the conversation related to questions about that. This year, we're on track to celebrate 11,000 plus graduates, including close to 1,500 Alamo Promise graduates, and 950 high school program students whose accomplishments are definitely a great testament to their efforts, their families' support as educational champions, and also brings us a step closer to achieving our moonshot. I'm going to introduce the 5 grads who are with us today. We've met Logan Martinez, right? I want to introduce you to Northeast Lakeview College graduate Aubriana Barrera, who's with us, and she's going to be graduating, actually has already graduated just a few days ago. I'm going to introduce you to Northwest Vista College graduate Evan Scott. Evan, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you looking forward to Thursday's graduation?
Definitely.
All right. Excellent. Thank you for joining us. San Antonio College Bachelor's of Science in Nursing graduate Alberto Miramontes, who will cross the stage on Wednesday. So we look forward to having our conversation with him. And St. Philip's College graduate Bridget Ellis. And so how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Well, good. How's that cap and gown?
Heavy.
Heavy. Fantastic. So thank you all for being here and celebrating this important personal milestone for yourself and for your families with each of us. And I'm going to begin in asking some questions. Of course, I'm going to ask Logan for an assist on these. So we're ready to go. We're going to begin with Evan. So you're going to be graduating with an Associate of Science degree in biology. Last summer, you were selected to attend the Nurturing Hope Summer Learning Journey, which was actually a 2-week visit in Ireland, and that was with work through the Peace Center at Northwest Vista College. And so tell us a little bit about that experience.
So, first of all, thank you for having me. But it was absolutely wonderful. So it was in July of 2024. And so I had the wonderful opportunity to go to the north of Ireland, specifically to Corrymeela, which is a community center that was brought up because of problems in Northern Ireland between certain groups. And it was really brought together to talk about peace and reconciliation and conflict resolution. So the first week that we were in Northern Ireland, we were there having daily sessions talking about and learning skills to have difficult conversations and learn conflict resolutions and how we can bring that to our communities and to ourselves. And then the second week was just really learning about the history of Ireland and how they use that themselves.
Wonderful. It sounds like that was a pretty formative experience for you, right? Being able to have that opportunity through Alamo and Northwest Vista College. And my understanding is it was a pretty global community that was there with you at that time, in addition to folks from Alamo and San Antonio, but also folks from throughout the world.
Yes, there was. I got to meet an array of people from a lot of countries around the world, which was wonderful because there are traditions and things and conflicts that I didn't know existed in other places. And I've gotten to bring that experience back with me to San Antonio and meet the variety of people that live here and work here and do work in the community.
That's wonderful. And so what are your plans then after graduation? Once you cross this stage, right? Sounds like you're always on the go. What are plans, future academic plans for you?
So I'm hoping to transfer somewhere. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think UTSA is the way I'm going. And then I want to go to optometry school.
Oh, okay. Optometry school. And that sounds good. And what interests you in optometry?
Everything about it. I'm a really sciencey person. Honestly, I've had glasses all my life. So going to the optometrist is always a positive experience for me. And I know there's a lot of disparities that exist, not just in the US and San Antonio is one of the big ones, but around the world. And I would love to be able to bring, light to that and be able to help find ways that we can provide vision to everyone around the world.
Wonderful. I think that's definitely key and most appreciative, right, of the opportunity that you're going to have not only academically, but also that you've identified that you want to lend your talents and expertise and service globally, which is important. And I'm glad you had that opportunity to travel to Ireland as part of your work. That's exciting. All right. Well, thank you, Aubriana, for joining us. What a pleasure it is. And you've already, unlike our other graduates, you've already graduated, and I'm sure you've enjoyed celebrating with your family. I just want, in particular, you're an Alamo Promise scholar. You're one of 1,500 that are crossing the stage at Freeman Coliseum in the Alamo Dome over these past these 2 weeks. How has Alamo Promise in particular positioned you for a better future?
So Alamo Promise has really helped me open the door to a higher education without the cost of a four-year university as one would. So by doing Alamo Promise, I was better able to help stable myself financially, as well as find opportunities in being there academically as well as personally.
And tell us about, I think the college experience is full of surprises and accomplishments and celebrations, but how have you surprised yourself during your college journey? Tell us about something perhaps that occurred that you totally didn't anticipate when you first stepped foot on the Northeast Lakeview campus.
There are many ways that I feel. One of the ways is I definitely grew in confidence as a student. Typically in high school, I would just sit back, be a little confused, not really open up to any discussions. And then with Alamo Promises, the Alamo Colleges, and especially at NLC, I was able to really grow, get all the questions I had answered. And then we have amazing resources at NLC, so they were able to help me with any career coaching as well as getting any academic tutoring for free. And I was really, really able to really grow in that area. And I felt like my grades did skyrocket because of that, of how much I did grow from that.
All right. Thank you very much. Ilberto, thank you for joining us. You're a proud first-gen student who has just earned your Bachelor of Science degree in nursing from San Antonio College. 9-year-old son, Santiago, who's along this journey with you. You've mentioned your experience in the U.S. Air Force and that your journey to nursing began overseas and also included pediatric care. You're now employed as a pediatric nurse at University Health, and you credit your success to the support and hands-on training that you have received at San Antonio College. Tell the audience, tell us a little bit more about your journey from being a combat medic to nursing at University Health.
I'm originally a small town kid from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm the youngest of 6 children, and I'm one of the first males in my immediate family to even pursue a college degree. But before, even thinking about college, I enlisted into the military because I knew at a very young age it was going to be very difficult for like a single mom to even help me go to college or anything like that, or to pursue any of those endeavors. So I was 18. I signed up for the United States Air Force, and they sent me overseas the whole time. I was in Italy, so I had some experience already coming into this. As far as getting any of the jitterbugs out of the way with this field. I feel like many individuals who really want to pursue any type of medical professional degree should actually gather some experience because like when I've mentored some of my my family members and some of my younger counterparts in my field, I've told them like it's not for the faint-hearted. It's a beautiful career field, but don't think for a second it's not tough. I've seen, unfortunately, the worst of the worst that can come from this career field, but also I've seen the biggest blessings out of it, where you display empathy, compassion, leadership, something that you really want to be in this career field. So I guess just, being 6 years active in the military really prepared me. It was a really good stepping stone for becoming a nurse. And so I had already had a clean, I felt like I already had a game plan and what I really wanted to do. I was already conscious that, this was the right career field for me. And then once I got into, college, I was really apprehensive at first because, I hadn't gone to school, and I started college at 30 years of age and, 30 on the dot. So I was kind of nervous, because high school was probably, anything remotely close to like a classroom setting. And then it just was great. I adapted well. I really enjoyed all of my, prerequisite courses too. I felt like they also molded me to genuinely pursue nursing as a whole, and it went well, man. I'm here.
And then how did you get to SAC? Tell the audience a little bit about why you chose San Antonio College for the BSN.
I knew right off the bat that with my VA benefits, I could have chosen anything, to be fair, as long as I qualified for it, right? But I was, like I said, I was apprehensive. I'm starting college at 30 years of age, man. I'm not your traditional student. So with that being said, I didn't want to have the intimidation factor of entering, like, let's say I went into UIW, UT Health, or any of these big universities, and then going into like a classroom where there's like 50 to 60 people and then there's one professor. I felt like that would have been, for me, it just didn't seem like the right environment. And second, I actually did do my research, and being a veteran in Texas, I've only been here about 5 years, almost 5 years coming October. And I knew that, in Texas, they really do, value us. I really feel the value here about being a veteran, right? I feel like our benefits really do go miles here. Essentially, I wanted to be somewhere where the environment, I could go to a teacher and feel comfortable about asking questions. I could genuinely not feel so intimidated and fulfill my needs, and it worked out great.
That's wonderful, Alberto, very impactful and kind of detailing what that looks like. I have some questions for our special guest here and outgoing student trustee, Mr. Logan Martinez. And as I noted earlier, his service and advocacy and student government at Palo Alto College, through the Alamo Colleges as well, and then most definitely on the dais several times a month with our elected trustees, and being able to serve as a student trustee for 2024-2025. And so, Logan, as we look at your experience in getting your undergraduate experience, but in getting your associate's degree at Palo Alto College, what do you think has been one of your biggest joys or accomplishments as a student leader?
I could definitely say I think it's the connections that I've been able to make, both on the professional, but also the personal level. So professionally, I've been able to meet with senators and the mayor and, council members, judges, titans of industry throughout, San Antonio. And I've really, been afforded the chance to learn how to communicate on that level. And that's something that I never had before. And it was always something that I feel I was lacking. So, the being able to serve as the trustee university really built upon those skills, that benefited me in making these connections that are gonna give me the opportunity to go out and to really put myself in a position where I'm gonna be able to promote myself and hopefully get a position where I'm making enough money to support me and my future family. But that's great. But there's nothing that I to say that the personal connections that I've been able to make, with my peers, some people who started out as just students in my class, and now I consider, great friends. I know I can call them when I need something, and just that community that Alamo Colleges has afforded me to build has been amazing. And the faculty and staff also, they've been a huge support system for me on my educational journey. They've grown into mentors and people that have so much life experience that I'm able to, call on and know that hey, these people have been through so much. They've gone through their educational journey and they're giving back to their community, and it's just great to know that I have those people on my side, and that's definitely the joy that that I've definitely been able to experience here at Alamo Colleges.
That's wonderful. One of the things, how do you think it has kind of prepared you for the future, the experience, academic, but also leadership perspective that you've had at Palo Alto College, Alamo Colleges? How has that prepared you to go forward?
Yeah, I've had, like I said, I've had these people as my mentors, and their knowledge that they've been able to give me, I didn't have to live through it. I didn't have to go through the hard times and learn these things. I've been able to, talk to my mentors and be there with them, and they've given me so much insight on what it's like to be a community member, and what it's like to lead, groups of people. And I think that it's prepared me with experience. And also, hands-on, not just the experience by word of mouth, but the being able to be in these positions that they've put me in. They've recommended me for, these different roles, and I've kind of just I've learned to do these things along the way. And the experience has definitely gotten me ready for these leadership roles.
That's great. So Logan, will be graduating, crossing the stage later this week, and earning an Associate of Arts with a focus in political science. And then, as noted in the introduction, is going to continue at Palo Alto College to pursue a Bachelor's of Applied Technology in Management from Palo Alto. What are you looking forward to in continuing your academic journey?
Other than getting, my degree, I feel like that's first and foremost. The doors that the degree opened up are gonna, continue to benefit me in the future. But it's still building that community. I know, every college has their sense of community, but the community I found at Palo Alto has just been, life-changing. I've had, the support, people bringing me up and championing me, and that's if I'm still able to continue there, I want to make sure that I can give back and I can continue to be that community member that everybody sees me as. That so I think that's definitely something I'm going to be looking forward to.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, that's phenomenal, Logan. And it's been definitely a pleasure as you've established yourself right at Palo Alto and throughout the Alamo Colleges, and then you're going to be with us for just a little bit longer until you earn your bachelor's degree, which is phenomenal, I think, in continuing your academic and personal journey with us. We are also joined by another student leader, so Bridget Ellis, and so we're fortunate that she's been with us and enrolled at St. Philip's College and is going to continue her academic journey, right? So how has the Alamo Colleges helped or assisted you in particular as a parenting student? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Great question. So Alamo Colleges has been so supportive by allowing me as a parenting student to register for classes early. So this has been so helpful when trying to build a class schedule that fits my family. And since certain classes can fill up pretty quickly, having that early access, that ensures I'm able to enroll in these courses at the times that work best for my own family responsibilities. And having that flexibility has really made it easier to balance school and parenting for me.
That's wonderful. And so, as I mentioned, you're at St. Philip's currently, but actually, once you cross the stage, you have plans to do what at the Alamo Colleges?
I will be next month. I start at Palo Alto.
Yes, wonderful. So you're going to be joining Logan then in the Bachelor of Applied Technology in Management. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And with the hopes, right, that you'll continue with the Alamo Colleges also as a full-time staff member, as a full-time employee.
That's my next goal, to get my bachelor's so I can get the full-time role here.
Well, that's great. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they were, and just off-site, off-campus, outside of Alamo context, and she was telling me about her personal goals and what she wanted to do in particular. And she said some may sound overly ambitious, but we've got to put it out there, right? We have to be able to say these are the things that we want to do with our lives, and this is what it's going to provide for us. What would you consider, Bridget, to be your, greatest accomplishment while being a student at Alamo Colleges?
So looking back, I would say for me, my greatest accomplishment as a student is learning to say yes, even when I didn't feel confident, and saying yes to opportunities that challenged me and pushed me to grow, whether that's contributing to projects or stepping into these leadership roles, speaking publicly, attending conferences. I kept showing up even when I felt unsure. So knowing that I had that strong support system behind me with different advisors and mentors who really believed in me and made sure I had all the tools in place to succeed, that mindset alone, it changed everything for me, and it opened doors, it built up my confidence, and it has helped me become someone that leans into challenges now instead of just avoiding them.
Wow. Wow, that's phenomenal. I mean, taking it head on, right, to be able to do that. And I just want to commend yourself, of course, and Logan, just in seeing the contributions that each of you have made to Alamo, since I know you firsthand from your work here, and just the impact, the positive impact that you've had. So can you show us your cap? Because I can see it's decorated. Is it done? Is it already ready? I don't want to ruin your hair, though.
No, it's ready. So it's at the bottom parts, and then the top parts.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice. I can just see how the edges are very decorated, and I know that's a tradition that's
and then I have
wonderful. And of course,
part.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
Just a little something on my student district council still.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, I'm going to ask, Evan, I'm going to ask you a question, but I also want to ask Logan for some assistance, for an assist here, if you have any questions for your peers here. But Evan, one of the things that I saw is just not only traveling to Northern Ireland and then wanting to study optometry, right? But what's another goal that you've identified for yourself? So, I mean, I want you to put it out there into the universe, something that you think you want to share with us, so that later on you can say, you know what, I'm gonna take these two. These are my two highest priorities. What's something else you would like to see yourself do in the future?
Well, along with biology, I do have this secret love, I guess not secret, but for like literature and English and all that sort. So I would like to pursue higher education and a degree in English and literature in the future.
That's wonderful. And I see that it says, yes, that you'd like to, when you go to UTSA, possibly major not only continuing in biology, but also looking at English literature as well. So I think that's phenomenal. And folks think of those as very distinct, right? But I'm sure you see how connected they are in the juxtaposition between both of them.
Always.
That's good. Logan, do you have any questions for your peer?
Yeah. So, Evan, the study abroad program is something that, I've heard so many students where they take advantage of it, and then they go and they get these, life-changing experiences. What would you tell a student who's kind of teeter-tottering on whether they're going to go for that opportunity or not?
Do it. That's really all. I'm a very scared traveler, but being able to meet new people like those who went with me, who I'd never met before, we got close right away. And I would have never had the opportunity to meet them or speak to them or be able to work with them now at the Peace Center at NBC if I hadn't. It is a very scary thing, but everything that you do is a learning experience, and everything comes back to you as a new skill.
So I did have a question for Bridget. You say that saying yes, even in the times that you don't feel like you're capable or you have the confidence to do so. What are some things that kind of helped you get through those times where you were telling yourself that you didn't have the ability to, but you kept on going? And maybe that's something that a student can tell themselves, to kind of get them to go out there.
I would say what really helped me was, besides my mentor and advisors, is just, as being a first gen in my family, I feel like a lot of responsibility, and I just wanted to step outside of my comfort zone and just really push myself to do something that I've always wanted to do, but never had the courage to do it. And I said, well, why not now and why not me?
Yes, and there's something you just mentioned is the mentors. That's definitely something that I encourage every student to go and do. Whether not even if you're a student, I encourage everybody to go out and to find those mentors. And there's a whole bunch of them here at the Alamo colleges, and I think it's great. I've worked beside you with the student district council at different meetings, and I look forward to us continue to work together and then becoming those mentors to the next generation of students coming.
Same.
One piece of advice is to always take any advantages of any opportunities that come your way. You'll never know what they'll lead you to. I never thought I was going to be an Alamo Promise student, and I saw this opportunity and I took it, and I'm very, very grateful that I did. So it's always important to seize that opportunity when you can.
If I could tell something to the younger generation, or just, people pursuing career fields, don't ever think it's too late, first and foremost. I started technically 12 years later than what I was supposed to, if we're going to talk about what a traditional route is. Don't ever think that it's too late for me to pursue my academic success or my academic, journey to start it. By all means, gain some experience, because, one thing I appreciate starting at the age that I did was that I really ensured that, my work mattered. And I also felt great getting, the grades that I was getting. I took it serious, if it's what I'm saying. I wasn't doing it just all because it's something to do. It's what my peers are doing. So my parents want me to do. No, I'm pursuing this because I want it.
Wonderful. Well, as we, Logan, I think you'd agree. I'm sure everyone here, it's been an inspiration, right? Speaking not only to yourself, but to all of your peers, all the graduates that are going to cross the stage, right? Over 11,000 Alamo College graduates from all 5 of the colleges being able to provide that opportunity. So one of the nice things about our celebrations and graduations is we do have folks across the stage earning their high school equivalency or GED. Of course, folks with certificates, associate's degrees, and it started at San Antonio College, but now we're going to add a second college. So SAC started with conferring the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree several years back. And now this week, we're going to actually have individuals across the stage in the first class receiving the Bachelor of Applied Technology and Operations Management. And now we know that, in several semesters, we're going to see both Logan and Bridget cross the stage, right, with not only the associates, but soon with the bachelor degree as well. And I look forward, Evan, to seeing you cross the stage, right, at the Alamo Dome as well. With our thousands of graduates, and now I can connect a face and a name, and most importantly, an academic and personal experience and journey for yourself and for each one of our graduates. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. We want to thank you for watching and listening to A Seat at the Table. And if you have enjoyed this episode, then please spread the word. Feel free to tell others and to share it on social media. Thank you all very much. Have a fantastic day, and please help me in joining and celebrating and congratulating the students who were with us today, but most importantly, all 11,000 plus students in being pioneers in their academic and personal journeys. Thank you.